Senator Armstrong. The ultimate American, as some dare call him. Why do I mention him, you ask? I'll tell you. Now, I probably seem like a guy who would not know what this game is. After all, I watch this on my free time. Well, I bring him up because when we first see him and hear his iconic,
well, if it isn't Saucy Jack.
Bring him up because when we first see him, we see he's piloting the Metal Gear Excelsius and hear this song. So as you all know, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is known for having a soundtrack that describes each one of its bosses, and this song is no exception. It talks about Senator Armstrong's plans for America, which you could argue are already happening. I mean, the song is practically describing our current state as a nation. I mean, it literally says, let your country control yourself. So as I mentioned, Collective Consciousness is a song about how people can't make choices for themselves, or even really do anything for themselves for that matter, and how somebody will tell them what to do, and that they shouldn't worry about what that is. Kinda sounds like social media in a way. But hey, I'm just a guy who hates that. What do I know? Continues on by saying that you will give your free will and that your voices won't be heard at all. Sound familiar yet? No? Alright. What about this verse? Now, this is either a perfect example of China, or, unfortunately, exactly what we're facing in our day-to-day lives. We keep swearing our allegiance, hoping for a better good when only God himself can save us. That's like the first few verses. Here's the next few. This is so unfortunately true. We're so advanced and modern that we buy things that bring us temporary happiness, but never something that's lasting and fulfilling. It's just like the iPhone going up in number each year, even though it's barely changing anything at all. As such, we don't think, we just buy and continue to do it on and on and on. Now, I already talked about the next verse, but I'm going to add another two here to make my next point. Now, when you hear this, you might get a little confused on what they mean by the righteous, which is why I believe that it's Senator Armstrong's side of the song. They tell us exactly what to do, thinking they're giving us the lives that we need, and those who accept it are the, quote, righteous, which is why they'll succeed, while the rest of us struggle. The next verses that I go over will expand on this. Here they are. Nearing the end here, guys, so just bear with me. This verse, I feel, can kind of explain inflation. Many people are losing money because of the greed of those in charge. The greed is literally making us all die. As such, those who can afford all of this chaos have the, quote, freedom we can't, which is where the verse making freedom absolute falls in. As such, those in charge are making the fabric of society and are controlling those into seeing what they want them to see. Alright, time for the final verses. Trust me, it's not that much longer. Just bear with me. So the final verses really don't add too much here. It's just let your country control your soul repeated 4 times, and it makes sense. I mean, country that wants you to join its collective consciousness and become another mindless puppet to it. Purchasing what makes us happy without giving it a second thought because they didn't want us to think for ourselves. While greed burns those in need so we can have our, quote, freedom, while the fabric of society is rebooted until we are all mindless and see. Thus, the country controls you without you even knowing it. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. No, this is a different video than what I usually do, but yeah, yeah, like and subscribe for more. Roll outro.